Hey everyone, I am jumping in on Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge for 2020, and I will leave a link to her blog, which has not only her video, her YouTube video, where she explains more in depth each of the prompts, but it also has the full list of the prompts for you to refer to. So check out that link, and I hope you all participate. I will be doing days 1 through 3, and I don't know that I will do every single prompt this year, but I will try to do as many as I can. So let's get started. Okay, for day 1, the question was, what tarot goodies did the holidays bring? I did pre-order in December a tarot deck, but that hasn't arrived yet. I won't be getting that for another few months. So, but I guess you could call that a gift to myself. And other than that, I did not receive any other tarot goodies as Christmas gifts or anything like that. I did not, I didn't have any on my wish list. There was nothing that I wanted. So I think this is like the first holiday or birthday since taking up the tarot again that I haven't really had anything tarot related on my wish list. So that was it, just the one deck. Day 2, top 5 decks of 2019. So these are decks that I either acquired in 2019 or were released. And I believe I only have one deck that was actually released last year. So I'll just start with that one. These are in no particular order. So the deck released last year, which you've seen ad nauseum, is the Lightseers Tarot. And I won't go on too much about this deck because I'm sure you will be seeing it a lot during this challenge, but long story short, it's seamless to work with. The art is beautiful, and there is a chunky guidebook that comes with this deck, but you don't even need it. I feel like everything is there in each image. And I used this deck to do my year ahead spread for 2020, and also the year ahead spread for my friend, because I do one for her as well. And usually I use the Everyday Witch for her, but I decided to use the Lightseers instead. And so I don't show her the full year ahead. I reveal a card for each month. So for this month, I gave my friend her January card, and I gave her her card of the year. And there was just so much that she saw in the images and so much that we talked about. And I really think that she got a lot out of this deck. And this will be another deck that I can use with her that she feels very comfortable with, just like she does with the Everyday Witch. And just so you know, my card of the year is the Tower. Yay. Next deck is the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. And I've talked about this deck so much as well. I love that it is not only inspired by one of my favorite book series of all time, The Raven Cycle, but the images are just so evocative, and I like how they steer away from the common images that you would usually see in decks, especially ones that are RWS based. And this is overall loosely RWS based. And I find that this deck is just a good deck for anything and everything, but especially for exploring my creative projects. Next up is the Star Tarot. And I got this at the very beginning of the year in a tarot trade. I chopped off the humongous borders and I edged the deck in rainbow colors. And it's, at first I held off on buying it for so long because I wasn't sure how I'd get along with it, but I love it. I love its vibrancy. I love all of the detail. Every time I pick up the deck, I feel like I'm noticing something new because there's so much there. And even though I am completely unfamiliar with Thoth, because this is a deck that is influenced by both the RWS and the Thoth, I was able to learn a little bit about Thoth and become familiar with some of the symbols and elements of that particular format. So this deck got me curious about Thoth. I haven't really launched myself into studying it yet, but I do plan to at some point. Next up, we have the Magical Tarot, and this is from a scratch and reveal activity book. It's a pip deck, and it was a gift from a friend. I do have a walkthrough of this deck if you're interested, but she got this for me. I think it was just meant to be a fun distraction. But I made this into a tarot deck. I took the time to scratch and reveal each image. I ripped the cards from the pages. They were all perforated and stuck together as a page. So I trimmed off the perforated borders. I used contact paper to back the cards, and it is a workable, usable deck. I loved how it's colorful and whimsical and just so fun. The cardstock is actually really good. It's easy to shuffle, and it holds sentimental value because it is from a friend. Finally, the Moon Void Tarot. This deck was introduced to me by Kat Widowson. I saw a walkthrough where she showed the deck, and it really resonated with me, and so I had to get it. And this is a predominantly black and white deck. Some of the cards do have splashes of red, but as you can see, I added color into a majority of the cards. I love how this deck follows one character throughout the whole Fool's journey. And a lot of times I see myself as this character, which adds an even more deeper and personal level of introspection. And after I colored the deck, I did reach out to the creator, Stephanie Capone, and I told her, I said, I love your deck, and I was compelled to add some color to it. And if you look at my Instagram page, you'll see that it's mainly tarot based. And I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with my posting pictures of your deck, being that I colored it in and it's not original to your vision. I don't want to disrespect your art and disrespect your vision. So just wanted to I just wanted to make sure, because it's because I love this deck that I colored it and worked with it the way that I did. And she was awesome about it. She was like, oh my God. She's like, thank you so much for, first of all, asking. And I have no problems with it. I love that you made it your own. So she was really cool. Prompt for day 2 is top 5 Oracle decks from 2019. So I have only 3 because of the Oracle decks that I acquired last year, which weren't too many. I ended up rehoming or selling a lot of them, most of them. So I have 3 to show you. Let's start with the Rebel deck. Just a disclaimer, there is cursing in this deck. And it's a 2-sided deck. I received it as a birthday gift, and it's just a snarky deck. So for instance, detox, drink a smoothie. I'm sorry, I can't read backwards. Drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, and throw some shit out. So that is just an example of how most of these cards are. It's funny, you know, and it's a deck that I really only use with the friend who gifted it to me. So I'll pull a card for her for the day. And, you know, I like the snark. I like that it's feisty. It's not one, though, that I need to use on the daily. So, but it is one that I am keeping because it is a gift from a friend. So, and I do use it with her. The next deck is the Fauna Inspiration Mini Deck. This was a deck that I purchased to get more in touch with animal energy. So it's another 2-sided deck. And I just frankly wanted to enjoy the beautiful art. And this is on a lovely cardstock, and the art is pen and ink over watercolor. And that's really the only agenda that I had with this deck, to learn more about and to connect more with animal energy. And so it's been a lovely time, and there have been moments of synchronicity. The final deck I'm going to show you is the one that I made for myself, so totally biased. Sorry, not sorry. And for those of you who have asked for a walkthrough of this deck, it'll be coming to you soon, hopefully next week. But I created this Oracle deck in October of last year. I began and finished it all in a month. And I wanted a deck that asked direct questions. I already have enough decks that have, you know, just a keyword or a phrase that I could sit with or meditate with. But I wanted a deck that was asking me very direct questions. And I've seen decks like that exist. And none of them resonated with me. So instead of trying to search for a deck or wait until one was created, I decided to create one myself. And I love it. All right, guys, I will see you again for more of 31 Days of Tarot. Until then, much love and take care.